Right guys, I think I'm live. I'm trying to, whoops, get everything, let's turn that off auto. Try and get everything sorted. I don't even know if I have everything I need. It's been a bit of a mad rush trying to get everything ready. Hi Erica. Can you just let me know, obviously if you can't you won't reply, but if you can hear me and the picture's fine, can you just let me know please, darling? Okay, I appear to be really bloody red. As usual, thanks to my delightful camera working really well, because I can't be bothered to go in and sort out all the... There we go. Much more normal looking skin. Hi. Okay, I've just realised that me takes over half the blooming painting, so I might have to, well, although we're going to be working on the eyes actually, I don't suppose it matters that much. But I'll wait for a few more people to join before I make a tit of myself trying to draw something. I have no idea how to draw or paint. And my throat's really annoying because I had to rush dinner down. I can't find any of my really long... That's annoying. You might have to do. I've got 50 paintbrushes out as if I'm going to be finishing it by the time... I don't know, tonight's out, but we know that that's not going to happen, so I don't quite know why I'm being so, I don't know what the word is. Okay, cool. Right, I don't know what I need up, quite frankly. I need to change the, do I need to change the ISO? No, let me change, no, can't change that. Is that a bit better? That's a bit better. So, I have you on the TV streaming. First time. Ha! I'm on someone's telly. Hi! I got in a charity shop, it cost me about £2-3 a picture that was just on a bit of wood. And I thought, do you know what? I can paint over that. So hubby yesterday, because it had a bit of texture on it, sanded it down for me. I've gessoed it, gessoed, whichever you want to call it. And then I've gone over with, you can just see here, it's not purely black. I wanted it, hi Vicky. I wanted it to have a slight tint. So it's got a really deep mauvey purple tone to it. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. I'm going to make a tit of myself trying to use acrylics, which I haven't used properly. I've done one picture which wasn't great. I don't even know where it is. But the last time I used acrylics was well into my teens. I think I stopped using them when I gave up painting actually, which was, God, I'm showing my age now, over 20 years ago, probably 22 years ago actually. No, maybe not quite that long, maybe 18 years ago, something along those lines. Anyway, so I'm going to make a complete prize doodah. by attempting to paint a tiger. Obviously it's not all going to happen tonight because it needs drying, etc. But what I am going to do is do the eyes. I thought we could do the eyes tonight. So I've got my reference in front of me. I've got it on my phone as well. Apologies for the noise. Coffee man's being all efficient and putting washing up in the bowl. He's been hard working up in the bathroom. He's been painting the bathroom for me today. Been a good boy today. And we've just finished baking some stuff in the clay oven. Clay oven? That oven. I clearly can talk today. Well, I'm going to put it on my phone. I think it's easier to have the reference on my phone and just have it in front of me. So we're going to work on this eye first. And I am going to be, although they've done something really weird to the photograph, they photoshopped it. And the saturation, they've really lifted the saturation up. But I actually quite like it. So I'm going to attempt to recreate it. Haha. But as much as I know colour theory, colour mixing takes a lot more practice, and I haven't done a huge amount of that. So, you know, we know that toning something, adding the grey and things like that is self-explanatory. But I'm using Arteza paints because it's the only ones I've got. And I'm not 100% familiar with all of the colours yet. So we'll see what it turns out like. It may turn out like a load of rubbish, but we'll go with the flow. So he's got like a bit of, I don't even think I need to use green, to be honest. I think if I used a bit of blue, but I'm just grabbing a load of colours. Why has that gone off? Nothing emergency, okay. And please excuse the throat clearing. It's really frustrating, but I am still suffering from whatever the hell is lingering and lurking. I did not get a surprise in the post today. Oh, I'm going to be out tomorrow as well, so I won't get it until I get home. I think that's far too dark. Have you been naughty, young lady? I'm only going to put a tiny amount of my... I'm not using a palette, I'm using a tile. Right, plenty of grey in case I need to tone some things down. So, as I say, there's no point in me going through the colours I'm using because Arteza have loads of different names on them that aren't going to be relevant for other ones. You do have to love charity shop bargains, especially something like this because it's so reusable and it's a really nice wood as well. So I knew that I'd be able to do something on here. I am putting loads of colours on here, but I'm only putting a tiny amount of each because I really want to work out. I should have done a colour chart, really. I haven't done myself any favours in that sense. I quite honestly didn't know what to do for today's live feed, if I'm perfectly honest. I like repeating things today. Right, bit of white. I say a bitch, just put a whole load down. Go back in. That's so weird when you squeeze it back in. Okay. Let's get a bit of yellow ochre down. Well, I'm pretty sure I've put some. Let's put a little bit more. I've got some Pebeo ones today at Hobbycraft. In the sale, they're down to £2. So I grabbed some of them. Right, my camera's right up here, so I'm going to zoom you in. And hopefully, don't move the camera, move the board, because I need to move the board a bit closer. So we're going to work on this left eye first, fingers crossed. I really don't know what I'm doing, so God wish me luck. Why do I like never do things by hours? I always have to go full whack and full gusto. Ah, you little naughty lady. Thank you. Okay, so pretty much the base tones are yellows. So I'm going to get the yellows down. And then in this, it's actually mainly grey. So I'm just going to... Too much water on my brush. I'll just get the base tones down and just see where we go. My fear is I'm going to end up using this paint like I would use pencils, and I don't want to do that. I'm not worried about texture or anything like that. I'm not worried about it being really, really smooth. I want it to have some life in it. So, yeah, I'm not overly fussed about having it completely clean and smooth. Hi, Carol. I was going to take a sip of coffee there, but it's still a bit too... Right, let's get some grey and some of that green. And I think we're going to need a little bit of white in there. That's it. There are some very strange noises coming from the sitting room. He's got like a diamond shape in his eyes. I think we need to... Obviously I'll go over and I'll paint with the black at some point, but... So I'll wait for that to dry a little bit. I have got the black. It's really handy having tiles. It's cheaper than buying a palette. I know you can get the palettes that keep your acrylic damp, so you don't have to waste any of your acrylic. It keeps it damp for you, but I just find tiles so much easier to clean, and they've never cost me anything. If you go to a local tile shop, get permission first, and ask if you can go dumpster diving, basically at your own risk. But we've done that. I've just realised I need to come out a bit more. We've done that at our local one. And we've come back with tile, because we do polymer clay. I say we, me and my bestie. We've come back with plenty of white plain tiles before for us to work on our clay. So yeah, never be afraid to go and ask for a bit of dumpster diving. Right, we need to mix a bit of the... I haven't taken note of any of these colours. Just sort of plunked them all on, which is no good really. I leave them to one side so I know that when I come back to it what colours I have used, but any of you guys used acrylics much? You should have told me it's out of focus, guys. Why aren't you talking to me? Haha. Look, completely out of focus. There we go. I need to move my tile really, so it's on the other side, but... In fact, if I had the sense, I would grab myself like that and I would go like that. And then that would make much more sense. Okay, so we need to lighten that eye. I've used them a little. Yeah, it's been years, so many years since I've used them last. I think a lot of the reason why I did give them up is because I end up doing this. I end up being so fiddly with them. Although that's not a problem, I don't think. Back then I thought it was. But I don't think I ever really used them properly. All I'm doing is trying to do is just wait for them to dry slightly and then just blend them together to get me a smooth like so. I know I need to be darker up here. I've tried to use acrylics and do enjoy using them, but the mixing colours, I'm awful. Yeah, see, that was always my issue. Yeah, I just think I'm like that. I do one thing and then get really peeved with it and then put it away and then never get them out again. And I think because as a medium, I don't truly understand it, which annoys me because I have to understand everything. It's showing really, really dark. This is annoying me. Let me change my ISO. It might be a bit... That's better. Need a bit more of a spark of yellow in there. Dull that down a bit. Tiny touch of that. Yeah, I truly have no idea what I'm doing. I'm going to have fun trying though. Sorry if I go really, really quiet tonight, but yeah, I probably have my thinky head on. Trying to look like I know what I'm doing. Which is a giggle all in itself, really. Right, it's dried off a bit, so I'm just going to blend it slightly. So I don't know why I've gone for yellow on that inner eye, but it's not actually, it's orange. Well, that didn't work, did it, Benita? Jeez Louise. Let's not do that. Part of the reason, actually, why I put such a small amount on my palette is because I knew that I'd end up making a mess. His eyes are really, really muddy looking. And I'm going to go over and over and over and over. I know I will. And then I'll just get really cross and annoyed. I probably should just leave it dry. Leave it dry, God. Let it dry. And then I can come back. That's sort of the thing, really, to stop it going muddy, is to just let each stage dry. And I'm pretty impatient. That'll do for that eye for the moment. I need to... Oh, I've got it blue tacked down. It was a board that I found in a charity shop with a painting on it, but it was like some sort of relief stuff on it. So a coffee man sanded it down for me. So it was a lot smoother. So I've gessoed it and I've put the back colour coating on there. It's just like a mix of purple and black. Drying on the tile so quickly. I need a tiny touch of blue in there, I think. Hi Doris. It is a giant cup of coffee. It has to be a giant cup of coffee. Right, I need to... That's my black. That's my black. Do you know what? I think I'm actually going to be slamming my own mantra in my face in a minute because I keep being afraid to go darker. I'm too scared. I don't know what I'm doing. Paint is so scary. It's really dark under there, so I've just got to, put my big girl pants on and just crack on with it, really. But it's scary stuff. I think that's the problem. I am just a bit too worried about going dark. Listen to your own advice, Benita. I need that to dry really before I keep faffing over the top. So let's move back to the other side. See, the annoying thing is if I zoom out it probably looks absolutely fine, which it does, but I think because it's zoomed in and I'm looking at it zoomed in, it's annoying me now. Oh, don't scratch your desk, Benita. Okay, it might be annoying me, but it's protecting my desk. So let's keep it on there. Exactly. So why am I so bloody scared to go dark when you can just undo it? It's ridiculous. So yeah, get over it. Come on now. Come on. Yep, just wait for it to dry and then you go dark. And I would say actually there's probably not a lot more to do on this eye. Probably a bit darker on the grey, but I'm actually very, very tempted to bring the Posca pen in for his eye. Because I can get a much more defined finish. I haven't got mad putting blue there, I promise. Hi, Emily. Blend those edges out a bit more. Got an old towel I'm just using because I don't want it to make the paint any wetter. I'm just using the towel to get rid of any excess, and then I can just simply come over with the acrylic and just use the moisture of the acrylic to blend the colours rather than having to reduce it down with water. I want to avoid that as much as possible. Ice. Can you show me your setup? Like, okay. Right. Can you see here? Let me move the camera if I can. So here is my tile. And that is how little paint I've got on my tile. Just the paints I'm using are that side with my reference, and then my water's just in front of me. So that's all I'm using at the moment, is just a cheap white tile. As I say, it was cheap because it cost me nothing. Because I went diving in. They've got like where we are, they've got like massive palette things out the back. And the amount of gorgeous tiles I've got from there is ridiculous. And big bits of slate as well. Really nice big bits of slate. I don't know whether this is going to work. So this is total experimentation happening here. I think it's dry enough. But seeing as it's acrylic, it should be fine. I know it's getting merged in with here, but here is going to be, if I get that in now, in here is white. And once I get in and get all that detail, like there's a white hair that comes across. I can get all that detailing in. I'm well off pieced. We've got like a really dark that's possibly not even dark enough. It's too red. Let's get the black in there. Still too red. Let's get the grey. Just making a mess now. Okay, so in here, I just get that in and I'll darken it up later on if I need to. I have a very fine one along here too. But I left all the black spaces blank because there's no point in me trying to fill it in now. So I need to get a little bit of colour around this edge. I hate not knowing what I'm doing. And I have to remind myself that I didn't know what I was doing with coloured pencils. I didn't know what I was doing with graphite. I didn't know what I was doing with the spectrum stuff. You just did. Oh, Erica, there's or Katie, whoever can do it. There's a request popped up while I was on the feed for the group. Right, let's grab that bit of water that seems to have worked its way onto my board. We've got a highlight that goes down in a triangle. It's actually a bit more bluer than that, but then we have one that goes right across his eye, and then he has, I don't know if that's a hair or a highlight. I think it's a hair that goes down that way. I'm not going to put it in too strong for the minute. There it is. So I'm being a dingus and using a different brush because I can't find the one I was using. But it was right there. Okay, so let's get the Posca pen. Thanks. The Posca pen works really well on this board. I don't know if it's because with all the paint and that, it's got texture. But I think we can get some really, really fine details on this. While it's still a bit wet, I'm going to go over with the grey because it's a little bit... This is really not a good position to be doing this painting in. It's a little bit fuzzy down the bottom where it just lays over that area. Okay, so we've got a highlight in there. So we're just going to... God, can you tell I'm just making it up as I go along? Itchy nose has started too. Trying to get that edge as smooth as possible, and I don't know whether that is possible. I bet it is with the Posca actually. I'm quite tempted to do the whiskers in the Posca. Oh, sweet as a nut. Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Okay, if that's the case, we are going to get some of that white, because he is pretty white on that edge, and I'll deal with the get a good coating of that down. We need to come over into this area because where the fur falls. So I'm quite curious to see how that white will fare. The white Posca, I mean. I haven't done any shares. I really must do my shares quickly. You might have lost me. I do hope not. I'm wearing, I've got a big worry sign right in the middle of my picture, so I don't know. You'll soon let me know. Can you have a look on your phone? Right, I'm doing that. Tell me if you see that in a minute. There's such a delay. I think it's my OBS.
Just started drinking a bit of coffee. That is way behind.
Oh, it's ridiculously behind, yeah. Sorry, I'm just checking with hubby.
Now you're asking me to check. Now you're waving.
Right, it's working. That's the main thing. So there is about 20-second delay.
25-30.
Okay, it's stupid. But I'm wearing on mine, so I'm just hoping that everyone can see. Right, okay, so I'm going to grab... I found my other Posca, by the way. Whoop, whoop. So let's see what happens. Now, Posca is acrylic paints. I believe they're acrylic. So that's dried enough. I'm just experimenting, as I may have to just go over the board again if it doesn't work. Hi, Maggie. I'm just seeing if it's fine enough. I'm not sure it will be, but I think it might be too thick. So the white, oh dear, that's got a flow and a half. It does work, and it's actually quite opaque. So it might be a nice little combo, God, itchy nose, to use the both. We'll have to see how we go. It's probably my connection being weird. I've just got a nice spinny circle showing up on my screen, which isn't great. Okay, oh, those brushes are bloody useless. I'll stop using them. Oh, there it is. Ha ha ha. Found it. Long one. Long one. So I don't know how thin we're going to get with this, but potentially thin enough. Let's have a look on here. Oh yeah, that'll be fine. Right, it's the only time I probably add that little bit extra water because it makes the brushes a bit easier. Normally I'd turn my canvas, but I can't. Oh, it's so like a fluffy. Yeah, I think that'll work well. Hi John, how are you? Okay, so I'm going to have to work from that side of the canvas, so let's just move things around and get it figured out. I need to move the canvas, I cannot work straight on. I think the Posca, that might work, that one. Let's try. Oh, I need to get it the other way. What I'll do is once the brown fur goes on, it won't be so... Oh, you can't even see it anyway. Straight off the face. Hang on, let me zoom out. That would make life so much easier. So let's do some of this brown. And then I can coat the white over the top. I think we need a bit of a mix of these. I really should have written down what bloody colour was what. I haven't done myself no favours. I'm such a turnip. Can you see? Oh, I've gone off canvas. It's looking really bright all of a sudden. Change your eyes over again. God, it's so hot in this den. Right, that's quite a good colour for that. I think that's another child. I'm just doing the undertoning right now because there's a slight darker tone under there. birthday. I'm alright. Getting on with stuff, as always. Oh, I can't move my arm anymore. It's starting to... There we go. Sorry, you've got quite a light shining there. And I've just put my canvas in all my blooming paint. I'll tell you, it's going to be one of them... One of them days. Or afternoons, I shall say. It's actually been a very pleasant day. I've been doing little crafty things with Mags. Well, I'm just going to brush out a little bit. What do I want on you, I think? This is why I like to work in ginormous when you use acrylic. There has to be an alternative. There is an alternative, isn't there, to thinning acrylic other than water? I'm sure Lisa Lacry uses it, and I can't think what it's called, but me being the impatient person that I am, couldn't be bothered to order any. So subsequently, there we go. If anyone knows the name of it, let me know, because I could probably do with some. I think it stops it drying so quick, so it makes it more workable. That's it. I think that's the one she uses. Oh, God's sake. Stop it. I think as well I've got to learn a bit of patience, because this is going to take so many coats to get the desired finish. Nice. We're in Devon. I've never heard of Brixham. I don't think I've got the best brushes for it either, but Torbay I've heard of. Come on. I might have to try and find a flow troll, whatever it is, alternative, because this is driving me crazy actually, how quick this is drying. Well, have a lovely time. I think somewhere along the line I've lost a lot of my thinner brushes, probably to my kids in all fairness. I found one thin one though that might do the trick. We've got quite a few to come over here. Oh, you gotta love Posca pens. Backing that up a bit more in a minute. Just went a bit too far over that. May sound silly, I want to do a portrait type picture in pencil, but I have no idea who to assassinate. Why does that sound silly? Hi Wendy. I'm afraid I'm a bit clueless, Wendy, so I have no idea what this fella is going to turn out like. I think I keep being a bit too thin with the acrylic. I think that's my trouble. I'm being a bit tentative with it. It's really annoying because his hair goes in two different directions up top here. Be patient, woman, let it dry. See, no patience whatsoever. I've put white on my paint and pen brush, and I can't remember what I was doing it for now. Used to go fishing with my stepdad a lot. We had a my nan had a property down in Pevensey Bay, and we used to have a lot of summer holidays down there. We used to go, I used to go shrimping. That was quite fun. And yeah, we used to do a lot of sea fishing. I'm just waiting for up there to dry, which is why I've moved down, because I'm being impatient and not letting stuff do what it's supposed to do. I think I just need some teeny weeny brushes. I don't understand where all my teeny weeny brushes have gone. That's a teeny weeny one, but I don't think that's any different to what I'm using. I can't believe how much I'm concentrating right now. I can actually hear my brain hurting. That's black, so I don't know quite why I've painted that there. Would have been for some reason or other. No. I'm terrible with brushes. I've got the really nice Da Vinci ones for the watercolour. But then I think, I don't want to ruin them, and then I don't want to use them. But as I say, I know so little about the acrylic medium. I mean, I just faffed about with it when I was a kid. I didn't really know even then what I was doing, really. So I have no idea if what I'm doing is completely wrong. I don't know. I'm just going with the flow. I'd say I'm enjoying it, but it's giving me intensity levels. That black starts up here somewhere. I think that stops there. We come right out to here, and then we've got black down in there. Sorry, I'm being so antisocial today. I really am sorry. See, there's detail I've got to put up in the white fur and everything. The Posca's just not quite fine enough for some of the detail. See, how has it dried from literally going to my brush to here so flipping quickly? I know it's warm, but I bet if I just bought some of that Floetrol, it would have been a whole different scenario. It's actually quite frustrating. Just trying to get a bit of texture under his eye where it meets. His eyes actually come up really nicely. I'm really pleased with that. I'm just trying to get that texture. Totally trying to concentrate. I don't draw enough of them, but I mean, I've adored drawing tigers since I can remember. And when I moved out, me and my dad had not a fight, but a debate over, I think I've told you about this before, but do you remember the Esso tiger? I drew that in pencil years and years and years ago, and they used to give free, I used to work at a petrol station, and when they were giving away the free posters, I had one. And I brought it home and I drew him and I framed him all up and everything. And I would have been about 17 at the time. And I remember when I moved out, Dad was like, "You're not taking that with you. It's going up on my wall." And I was like, "No, it's coming with me. It's my favourite picture." And it did end up coming with me. And do you know what? I don't even know where it is. I think it's upstairs in the loft somewhere. But so I've enjoyed drawing tigers for years, but I've never really done many of them, which is stupid because I love the detailing that you get in fur with tigers. I just love it all. And they're a big cat, so you can't go wrong with big cats because they're just beautiful. I remember starting the background of the last one and I was thinking it was utterly crap and I really, really hated what I did. So I cut the whole thing out and did a new background. I think I did a waterfall in a jungle or something like that. And yeah, stuck him on a brand new background. So let's just see if I can get any bit of detailing on that fur. I mean, in the photo there isn't actually much to see, but I want to add a little bit more than what is in there. I just think it needs it. And I know I'm getting a bit ahead of myself by working on small segments. Really, I just need to get all the base layers down. I would be actually really tempted after this, once he's all dry, to go over and add more detail in pencil. Night. Going to shove a load of shadow down and then I'm going to go over with the white again anyway because it needs another coat, full stop. And I can just work those shadows in a bit more. Up here it changes direction completely. So in here, that's water coming off through the brush. Got one black hair coming out. See, why am I being so anal about one black hair? So I've got one of them fan brushes, but I don't know that I'll be any good with it for this. No, donut. Nice to have you back. Ah, drop the paintbrush. I don't know what I'm doing. It's all a big guess. My brush is overloaded. Use the excess to fill that space out. I really am quite clueless. I have to say though, the difference between which is obvious before anybody says that's so obvious, the difference between the Pebeo and the Arteza in the thickness is quite noticeable, which it would be, seeing as Arteza is very much a budget brand. I'm going to get my pencils out in a minute just to have a look. Have you drawn on with pencil, Katie? Don't see why it wouldn't work, but... you might have your volume restriction on. Just check your volume restriction. No matter how far you turn it up, it'll only put it a certain decibel. Should we ever go? One colour I want, I can't find it. Let's just use this for the sake of example purposes. Don't think that's truly dry in there yet. Oh, hello. Uh-oh. Oh, well, that's me happy as Larry. Damn it. guess he's going to be going over pencil. Oh! And it's out of curiosity. Oh man. Oh, it's not great, but I haven't sharpened it, so that doesn't help. Oh, it's just something else to play with. I feel like up here needs more detail, but it really doesn't have that much. But I need to put some in. This is where my artistic license comes into play. It's drying so quickly, I can't even blend it out. Trying to get these really fine. It's just not happening with these brushes. I know I've got the wrong tools, which is doing me no favours whatsoever. Getting stressed now, peeps. Getting stressed. I can't believe how orange it looks down the camera either. Come back and do this bit soon. Don't need to be doing it right now. I feel like such a noob right now. I have no doubt that experts sitting there watching this are just wetting themselves laughing. Night. Thank God for Posca. That's all I can say. I don't think there's a huge amount more I can do up here, to be honest, because it doesn't look too dissimilar to the reference photo. Probably maybe a few of the black lines going in, but I think because my background isn't truly black, and I'm probably being really, really picky. Right. So deep orange in here. And in here, and then it goes out to this paler fleshier colour. I don't know why the white balance is so off. That's probably a little bit truer. Let's go with that. That's probably a little bit truer than what the other one was showing. Again, quality of product, it really does show that quality of product makes a huge difference as well. You know, I'm using, apart from the odd Pebeo colour, I am pretty much using Arteza, and you know, they are nice to work with, but they're still a little bit more, I don't know. I don't know. Again, I've just got to wait for it to... Got to learn some patience. Ah, that's brilliant. Not about the pasta, by the way, about the tiger. Not great about the pasta at this time of night, but... I know how easy it is to forget that you've not actually had something to eat. Just get the bulk of the white down, then that gives that time to settle and dry a bit. Heard of elephants upstairs?
Yeah, I thought I heard that.
They're like girls in a pub, they can't go to the toilet on their own, you have to get up and have a whole herd of them going. Should we zoom out a bit? Let's get the overall where we are so far. I feel like we've not actually got very far, but that's because I'm impatient. So we need plenty of the, probably going to get really annoyed to keep using this brush, but we'll give it a go. We need some greys. I have to say the best thing I ever did for mine was going paleo. It solved a plethora of issues, including coming off all of my fibromyalgia medication. Probably go over this again with the white after. Probably layer like I would with pencil, just go between each layer. So while that's all drying, I'm probably going to work on this area now. Okay, let's see. So we'll zoom you in a bit. I don't know if that's going to help or not help. It's gone darker again now, but I'm probably going to stop when we hit the 2-hour mark. Paintbrush is doing my noodling. That's a bit better. This gives you a good insight to how I normally sit and draw. Head buried. It was an old wooden board I found in the charity shop with a not necessarily a painting, but it had some, like, it was like a painting on there, but it had like relief stuff on it. So hubby sanded it down for me, and then I gessoed it, or gessoed, to get a good base down. I think it cost me 2-3 quid from the charity shop, but it's nice hard wood. Yeah, the weather's not helping. That's not light enough. I think I'm being too tentative as well. I think because I'm not used to painting with this medium, plus I've got however many people staring at me while I'm doing it. It's a bit shy. Got my Pebeo actually. I'll use my Pebeo. I purposely got 3 Pebeo colours to do this portrait. I guess it's not knowing what I'm doing either. You know, when you're working in a medium you're confident with, you know how it works, you know how it reacts, you know how to colour blend and all that sort of stuff, whereas this is so new to me. Well, I say new, it's been, as I say, it's been about 18 years since I last used it properly. You out of focus now? Better. The Pebeo paint certainly is sort of better to work with. Am I ignoring you? Oh, yeah. No, woman, I've already replied. Is your volume down? It's a piece of board, unless you've asked me something different. It's a piece of board that I got from the charity shop that had a painting on there. And it had some sort of relief on it. I guess as well I'm used to seeing much more of a finished area, whereas right now none of it looks finished, and I think that's probably driving me a little bit crazy. I'm so used to seeing much more of a refined, finished area before I move on, which I suppose I am sort of still trying to do. That's why we get on, Wendy. Both impatient. It is nice, actually. Yeah, it's quite an enjoyable surface to paint on. Ah, lovely drops of water. So, how many of you have seen my colour theory video? If so, what did you think? I've had one comment come up and there's been quite a few views, but nobody's really given me any feedback, so I don't know whether it's crap or not. Do you know, I think a lot of it's the Arteza paint drying really quickly, because the Pebeo is not drying as quick. able to get in there and get much more finer detail. And I'm the first one to advocate that expensive products work better, but not everybody can afford them. So well, not only is it a colour theory, it shows you how to pick colours out of your reference picture. So it's a really, really useful video. Oh, do you know what? I think I might have found the brush and the combo of paint that is going to work. It's only taken me 2 hours to get there, but look at that definition in there. Thank you. It's had a few thumbs up, so a few people have found it useful. And we all know how much we love a thumbs up. Oh, getting some shadow in there now. Look, we're rocking and rolling. Bit of pale bit there's a little bit irritating, so let's get rid of that. Find a bit of wet paint that would help.
It's really hot in my bed, and also
Sleep on the floor. It's all fun and games. There we go. We're getting some really nice detail in there now, I think. Who'd have thought my cheapo brush would work better than my non-cheapo brush. These are the brushes that I used with the watercolour pens from Wish. I think the pens come from Wish and the paintbrushes come from AliExpress. I'm not sure how many of you saw the bright coloured girl that I did. But she's made my Instagram go absolutely nuts the last few days. I'll pull her off quickly. That girl. yeah, it's she's gone down really, really well. I've been taking loads of pictures of fish, and I know that sounds crazy, but they're really, really brightly coloured, so I thought it'd be nice to have something a bit more colourful to do. Well, I'm going to work at the top of the head a little bit more again. Now I've got my brush, I can really get in there, and hopefully, I need to save this to my... Struggling so much. Zoom in properly now. Well, that's weird. All of your replies have shown up before Benita asked the question. Was wondering what I had missed, as you were all saying you not watched it yet. Weird. Thank you, Erica. Yeah, quite fun. Do something different. It's really annoying that this hair goes in a different direction. Do that. I need to go in the other direction and I can't. It's frustrating me. You get that natural lift off when you go in the other direction, and I'm not getting it. Right, I'm not going to fiddle any more with that. It's as dark as it needs to be. We're going to get some of that grey. Just going to get some detail in there, hopefully. They're right. Hot in there.
No.
Just being silly billies.
Hmm?
Just being silly billies.
Yeah.
I love the holidays. Right, we've got loads of black all the way up here. How are we doing? Right, we've gone over our 2 hours. Yeah, I need to stop, I think. So I'll just give it time to dry as well. It's really fine. I think I need to Google the best brushes for acrylic. Anyway, that'll do. Fiddling now. My back is yelling at me. So, that is where we got in 2 hours. I'm really pleased with his eyes, actually. I'm quite happy with that way that's turned out. I'm still not 100% happy up here, but I'll refine all that next time. I don't know how much I'm going to do off camera or on camera. It really depends on whether you can sit there through another 2 hours of me painting. I'm more than happy to do a bit more of him next week on a live if you want to watch. Just let me know if you want to see it next week. And I'll just carry on through the week and then we'll just continue on the next one. But thank you for persevering with me. Have a lovely day tomorrow. And have a good evening, afternoon, whichever it may be. And I shall see you.